Comebacks are hard enough to pull off in business, but in the world of high tech, they are downright rare. For every Apple, there are dozens of Palms, Commodores, and Ataris. The latest company to find itself at these crossroads, Research in Motion, the maker of the BlackBerry. Michael Mace sounded the warning on RIM's troubles when the stock was still riding high. Michael is a former executive at Apple and Palm. He's currently CEO of technology startup Cera. He also writes a blog called Mobile Opportunity. Mike joins us by phone from San Jose, California. So, Mike, you've seen trouble from the inside at two companies. We talked about them, Apple and Palm. So, in your opinion, what does it take for Research in Motion to get its mojo back?
Well, you know, as a platform company, right, and they have this platform, they have an operating system, not just their hardware. They run on momentum, and the momentum comes from if you've got hot products that get people excited. And right now, they just don't have those hot products. Their customers are restless, and in order to keep them around and keep them loyal, they're going to have to generate some products that actually create some excitement.
Okay, that's a very key point, but product alone doesn't make a company. I remember the Newton, right? You know the Newton, Apple's handheld computer, a forerunner to the tablet. People thought it was a great product, but it didn't save Apple. It took Steve Jobs to come back. So even if RIM comes out with a great phone, is that enough?
Well, it'd really help because the problem that they have right now is in the U.S., they seem to be losing the loyalty of their installed base. And so forget about even the matter of growing. It's just a matter of retaining those customers. And the first step to do that is to have products that will keep them excited. Right now, the surveys show that a lot of their customers in the U.S. are thinking about moving to something else. And if they start to drift away, it can be like a cattle stampede, right? If the customers start to move, you can lose all of them very quickly. And that's an urgent situation that needs to be fixed.
It is an urgent situation. It's one of the things that you highlight in your latest post on Mobile Opportunity. Do you perceive that things are perhaps worse at RIM than we realize?
I think people are getting pretty negative on RIM right now, but the thing for folks to understand is it's almost like there are two companies. There's what they sell outside the U.S. and Canada. So in places like Europe and places like that, RIM is seen as a youth messaging phone. It's not the way we see it in the United States. And in that area, its business is growing pretty well. The problem is in North America, where it's seen as an executive email phone. That's where its sales have really been dropping. And if you kind of break those things apart, the success that it's having overseas is actually masking how serious the decline is in the United States.
So, Michael, why compete in the arms race with Apple and Android in the United States? Why not focus on that growing business that they have overseas?
That's one of the things that they could do. The problem is the U.S. and Canada has historically been about half their business. It's probably a little less than that now. So it would be an awfully big chunk to give up if you were just going to focus away from that. But that is one of their options. They haven't said they want to do that, though.
Michael, you've said for a long time that what RIM needs to focus on is R&D, great products, and you just reiterated that theme a moment ago. Right now, though, they seem to be thinking more about the investment community. They're cutting jobs. They're talking about the kinds of things that might get investors enthusiastic about the stock price. Is that the right decision?
Well, it's kind of scary because they're in a situation where some of the things that they're doing to reassure investors actually can hurt the current status of their business. So, for instance, they've pre-announced future products that they're going to have, which may make investors feel more comfortable, but that's like an invitation to your current customers to stop buying until those new products ship. They've announced that they're going to do layoffs, but that decreases employee morale because the layoffs haven't happened yet, so everybody's waiting to see if they're going to get fired. They're all going to be prepping their resumes and answering calls from recruiters. And then finally, they're doing stock buybacks, which is popular with investors, but it says to the employees, well, it's more important to us to prop up the stock price than it is to be paying all of your salaries. And so you get a situation where what helps on the one hand can actually make the situation worse on the other hand. And that's just a sign of the difficult situation they've gotten themselves into, is they're now backed into a corner where they have to make those sorts of really nasty trade-offs.
Nasty trade-offs indeed. Michael, thank you for helping us put it in perspective. Michael Mace, he's a technologist, a former executive at Apple and Palm, now at his own company, Cera Technology.